pictures of people on the ground. It's incredible. How much does this cost?
Something like that. It's probably around $1,000, $1,500 in just parts, and if you want to count the labor, a month or so getting everything tweaked and reliably running.
And you can rent these to police departments and fire departments.
This was used on our Devil's Night, which they're referencing as Angel's Night in the city of Detroit.
Yes, well,
to watch over the neighborhood, supposedly. And
my analogy is a violin.
these are drones, and they're using them for civilians, actually, now, very rampantly in the city of Detroit. They just admitted using it for Angel's Night, but I know that they're using it for more than that. You have to put two and two together. They're not going to tell you everything.
Meanwhile, this little thing on the table right here is just a baby brother, Rocky, to what the U.S. military is using overseas right now.
Sure.
Yes, we use these things to spy on people. We also use drones to kill people.
Sure, but and the issue is, should we use drones to kill an American citizen that may be an enemy combatant?
Well, we have already.
Yeah, we have. Adam Gaddan, who was known as the American Taliban, was killed by an American drone. And Eric Holder now, we've just seen yesterday what took place on the Senate floor with Rand Paul filibustering and which something I totally agree with. What he was trying to do is come across and say that should the United States be using these types of drones to kill an American that may be on American soil, that may be an enemy or maybe declared an enemy to the state.
I'm told that the White House sent him a reply today that said no.
But Huel, the issue was, this is a backtrack, because about 2 months ago, Eric Holder basically said that, yes, in extreme circumstances, the president can authorize that type of...
Don't you want to have a strong military?
Absolutely, but the military should not be enforcing the laws inside the United States. You've got a constitutional issue, and the military should not be used enforcing the laws in the United States.
Meanwhile, Tom McMillan, this new technology presents some new questions. It's a brave new world, but it's also scary.
That's right, and most states are looking at, what do we do with these drones, especially with police force. It's the FAA is still looking at approving so that these police departments and sheriffs can start using these. And I've got a bill that I'm getting ready to introduce next week that will really put parameters, so they got to have a warrant, or an imminent threat. What do they do with data that they collect that's not going to be used in court? They need to destroy it. No weapons on board or on these things. Penalties for unauthorized use. We don't want Big Brother just looking at everybody.
But would you allow police to have weapons on board these things? If a suspect fires at a cop, should he be allowed to use a drone to shoot back at that suspect?
Good question.
No, we don't want drones. These things, you need to have a police officer right there to make sure that they know what the threat is, the good guys don't get shot. This is not something that we want to, it's not Star Wars, and we do not want to have shootings out of the sky.
Meanwhile, though, it's the kind of technology available to everyone, Charlie.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
There's two issues here. There's one for private use and one for police use. Let's forget the military use. That's the third option. But on privacy use, listen, if I'm walking out in the middle of the street, I really have no expectation of privacy. If there's any drones over my head, I may not like it, but I probably have no expectation of privacy. So it's fine. Now, if the police want to use it to search inside and peek inside my window, I agree. They need a search warrant, because we do have a privacy interest inside our own house. But I'll tell you what, the police can use these. Let the police use these if they can solve crime. If this is the modern day use of technology, why put our police officers' life at risk when you put this thing up there and solve crime?
But Charlie, we don't want them all over the place looking at open space and public space. We don't want that. They need to have a warrant, a target where they're going, or it's imminent threat. There's a kidnapping or a robbery or something.
I agree with that. We can find a happy medium, keep our public safe, and at the same time have fun. Right, Harry?
Yes.
And maybe put a Fox 2 camera on board, too.
Right. And
a logo.
I think an important part of it also is going to be certification. The same way I couldn't get an 18-wheeler and drive it down Wilbur without being possibly properly trained and certified, a 13-year-old or any age shouldn't be able to just go out and buy a drone and fly over baseball games.
As it stands today, though, anyone can purchase a drone and modify it the way they want. There are not drone laws in place. yet.
New TSA rules will allow passengers to carry small knives on board passenger planes.